To order. Today we're going to look at the regulatory roadblocks to the nation's manufacturing renaissance with a discussion draft of a bill entitled the Promoting New Manufacturing Act. And I do want to thank all the witnesses for being with us today. We look forward to your testimony, and certainly I will be introducing each one of you, and we'll have questions for you a little bit later. At this time, I would like to recognize myself for a 5-minute opening statement. Polls have shown that the American people are of the opinion that economic growth and job creation is the #1 issue facing the American people. And I think all of us recognize that the very slow economic growth over the last 6 years has been pretty frustrating for all of us. Now, I know that President Obama and Vice President Biden and people in his administration talk about this issue frequently as well. As a matter of fact, the President frequently in public talks about the importance of streamlining the permitting process. And yet, as is so often the case, he frequently says one thing, but then his administration takes actions that are contrary to that. And that has certainly been happening at EPA and many of the other regulatory bodies. Now, the chemical industry estimated as of this week that 177 projects, manufacturing projects, have been proposed in the U.S. representing $112 billion in investment in over 600,000 high-paying manufacturing jobs. This is an extremely positive development, obviously, and also with the great renaissance that we're having in the natural gas arena, we have a unique opportunity in America to step out in front and be one of the leading competitors in the world and competing in the world to grow this economy and create jobs. But this manufacturing renaissance is far from a done deal, especially given the cumbersome permitting process that these projects must go through. It would be a great disservice to the American people if our nation's natural gas advantage is squandered through an unnecessarily lengthy, bureaucratic process that delays or even prevents these job-creating modern new facilities from being built. Now, I might add that we invited EPA to testify today, but the agency declined our invitation to permit. They did talk to us yesterday and said they look forward to working with us on a technical basis as we explore this legislation. And obviously, we welcome that. That's very important. And even though EPA won't be here today, we do have other witnesses who agree with EPA's position, and I'm sure that they will do a great job of explaining precisely the views of their entities as well as probably the way EPA feels about some of these issues. I believe this bill contains several common sense measures to increase transparency and reduce unnecessary permitting delays. It increases the amount of public information about the number of these permits being issued, how long the process is taking, and also requires more information on EPA's Environmental Appeals Board process. It reduces permitting delays by requiring that the implementing regulations and guidance be finalized concurrently with any new or revised national ambient air quality standard rather than doing it either months or even years later. And it also directs EPA to report to Congress on steps being taken by the agency to expedite the permitting process. I might add that none of the substantive requirements under the Clean Air Act would be altered in any way under this bill. In fact, these new industrial facilities will be considerably cleaner, more efficient than those currently in operation in the U.S. as well as those operating overseas. So in sum, the discussion draft includes reasonable steps to streamline the permitting process something that the administration agrees, at least the President says, needs to be addressed. So we're open to all suggestions to improve this vehicle as we move forward. And I look forward to the hearing. At this time, I'd like to recognize the gentleman from Chicago, Mr. Rush, for 5 minutes.